Let's see the energy for this week. We're going to use our Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot cards. Well, these are Oracle cards. And then let's see what comes out. All right, so energy for this week. Ooh, go the distance. All right, truth be told, but it's in the reverse. Let's get one more. We got two more. We have poise, and then we have no place like home. Interesting. All right. So the first thing that caught my eye, or the first one that caught my eye, well, always, I look at the energy at the bottom of the deck, and here we have orphaned. So some of you may be feeling a little bit kind of like out in the cold, maybe not so happy right now, maybe a little bit sad, maybe a little bit down, right? May not feel like home, or you're not around. It's like I always get this message, around the right group of people, or something you're doing that just isn't fulfilling, right? So you may be feeling like left out of some circle, left out of somebody else's world. This is for some of you. It's not going to resonate for all, but that's the energy at the bottom of the deck. And the reason I say that too is because you have this truth be told card, which came out in the reverse, right? And you have this owl. Owls are very much about discernment and very much about seeing things very clearly. So there's something that you're not telling yourself the truth about, right? Something you may be in denial about, something you may be lying to yourself about. Because here you have go the distance. That was the first card that came out. You see this cheetah is moving so fast that, they're even actually starting to disintegrate. But they're almost to this finish line, right? So then if you're almost to this finish line, what is it that you'd be denying, or what is it that you would not be telling yourself the truth about? So you know what it is? Sometimes you just have to sit with the cards a little bit. What it is some of you were in denial about something, right? You didn't want to confront it. You kind of wanted to keep going in a situation. Very stubborn and just plodding along and saying, you know what, doesn't matter, even if this isn't right for me, even if this is not the right group, even if this is not the right relationship, the right job, right, the right environment. I've made up my mind. I have my goals, right? I'm going to stick to it no matter what. And I'm just going to keep going very stubbornly, right? And not face the truth, be in strong denial about something. And then now you kind of start to realize that this ain't working, because the next card you receive is poised, in terms of being poised for success. So there may have been something, you also got no place like home. So there may have been something that you're trying to convince yourself about, that this was the thing, right? As opposed to having to change it, as opposed to going to a new direction, right? Because maybe it's something where it would require a lot of change, a lot of upheaval. People would be happy. It would have brought you a lot of drama. And, some of us sometimes just don't like change. So even if we're in a situation that's horrendous, we're just going to stick it out because it's what I chose. And rather than deal with the humiliation or deal with the perception of failure, I'm just going to keep going. But what I'm getting now is some of you are realizing that it's time for a change, right? Because this 50 breaks down to a 5. And that whatever you've been doing, wherever you are, right? Whatever you've been doing to sustain yourself, it's not bringing you happiness. And it's like you can't deny this anymore. You may be in something where you're having to do all the work, and you may be somebody who's very strong. I'm getting like a Knight of Pentacles energy where you could do the work for everybody else. You can put all your energy into every new project, right? But now you're at a point where you're just exhausted. You're completely depleted and you just can't do this anymore. So that's what I'm getting very strongly. That some of you this week are going to realize that whatever it is that you've been trying to deny, whatever it is you've been trying to convince yourself otherwise so you wouldn't have to make a change, you're going to realize that it is what it is and it's not working, right? This is not something that I can sustain anymore. So let's go ahead and clarify. And then let's use this one. This is right on top, Astro Matrix Tarot, and just see if we can get some more information. But that's what I'm picking up intuitively, is that some of you are in a situation, see what I mean? 5 of Wands. There's just a lot of drama, right? So whether that be external drama, whether that be internal drama to yourself, that is just causing a lot of chaos in a situation that you're in right now, that you were hoping you'd be able to sustain and continue in, because you think it would have been easier just to keep the peace, right? But you're realizing it's not sitting with your soul. And so your soul is being tormented because this is not the right place for you. Let's clarify, go the distance, Spirit, go the distance. Tell me more about go the distance. Here you go. Exactly. You had the Ace of Pentacles, which is something new. You know, usually Ace of Pentacles, these are like gifts from the divine, right? Aces are gifts from the divine. This is abundance. This is a new start. This is something that's going to be prosperous. But the thing is, it's in the reverse. So where you are that you're trying to go the distance in, you're not even making any money. You know what I mean? You're not getting any new projects, or even if you do, it's so exhausting. And even if it's something where you might get a little raise or a little bonus, you know, what it requires to stay there just eats it all up and gobbles it up, so you're not seeing that progress, right? And I hate to sound so negative, but I'm just telling you what I'm getting from the cards. And then here you have justice, right? It's like spirit saying, come on, it's time for you to bring balance into a situation, right? Rather than repeating something, you know, because look here, you have the heart and you have the feather, right? And it's about your heart needs to be as light as a feather. So even you staying in this situation, you know it's not good for you because your heart is not as light as a feather. And that's what's bothering you also about this situation, is internally with your own soul, what your spirit is calling you to do, it is not resonating, right? And if something isn't resonating with you, you know what happens? Even if you're trying your hardest to keep it going, you're going to sabotage it. You're going to find a way, or at some point you're going to do something that's going to create a tower and cause the situation to collapse. It always happens because the higher self is trying to get you out of it. So you're going to manifest something traumatic for yourself, as opposed to just getting that courage and just leaving something that's not working for you. Clarify, truth be told. Here you go, Ace of Cups reverse. There's no love in this situation, right? There's no heart in this situation. There's no healing in this situation. And some of you may be even trying to deny, you know, if it's somebody that you love and somebody that you care about, but you're afraid to approach this person, you may be even telling yourself, no, I don't really feel these feelings, you know, or if it's a situation that's not sitting well with you, you're trying to lie to yourself and say, no, I don't feel this. I'm just going to keep my head in the sand. Ostrich with your head in the sand. Everything is perfect. Everything is wonderful, right? Tell me about poise. See, 7 of Wands, right? You're feeling like, listen, I'm on the precipice. I'm on the edge of some success here, right? So I'm going to defend this. I have the higher ground, so I can keep going. I don't need to throw in the towel. I just need to ignore what my feelings are telling me. I need to ignore what my emotions are telling me. I need to ignore what my higher self is telling me and just keep sticking with this situation that deep down, if fear wasn't keeping you there, you would have left a long time. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can feel it. And normally I don't get so passionate. But I can really feel the energy coming off this card. That some of you are very, very unhappy, very miserable. I'm just going to say miserable in a situation. But fear is keeping you stuck. Tell me about no place like home. Look at this, Chariot. But look, some of you might break out of this now. So let me give you some credit. Because here you have the Chariot card. So some of you may be packing your bags and saying, you know, to hell with this and moving on, right? Finally getting that courage and the confidence to overcome this. But it could also be determination too, to continue to stay in a situation, particularly if it's tied to your career or to money or to success or some sort of upward mobility. You may be thinking to yourself that, you know what, I'm just going to keep going with this. But with the energy that's coming out of these cards, I'm getting this is not something you're going to be able to sustain much longer. Let me clarify the Chariot. What is the Chariot? Is it staying in this situation or moving on? Yeah, 5 of Cups. Some of you are going to move on. Because 5 of Cups is regret. So this could be a past situation that some of you are looking back in, that you stayed in because you figured, you know, it would be easier to do nothing than to do something, even though you saw that train coming right at you on the tracks, right? But fear kept you paralyzed. And now you're realizing that this was not a situation I should have stayed in, right? So let's get some advice for you. A card of advice. What do I want to use for that? For card of advice. Maybe we'll just go back to the same deck. This one here. So one card of advice. Oh, Jesus. They never give me one. Anywho, bottom of the deck, the Fates, right? So right now, the spirits got their hands all over this. So there's something happening where the divine is taking control, and they're going to pretty much, you know, hands off the wheel. They're driving this situation. So regardless of what you would like to happen, there's something that's going to happen that's destined to happen, because spirits now probably a little bit fed up with this situation and saying, you know what, they're not doing it, so we're just gonna, your guides or ancestors, ooh, the snap, they're just gonna go full bore and take charge of the situation, because here you are, stuck, fork in the road, right? Not making a decision. Spirit is saying, tap into your higher self, a higher power, but it doesn't really matter because I'm seeing they're all over this. And then here you have imagine. So imagine all the things that could go right instead of the things that could go wrong, right? And if you're in a situation where you're fantasizing, you're in denial, Spirit's saying it's time to get out of illusions and delusions and face the truth of this situation and to listen to your higher self, because you're getting a lot of dreams and messages that will provide you with the guidance of the situation. But either way, they've got their hands all over this. So they're stepping in. Your guides are stepping in. Hope this is helpful. Bye.